My name is Amy and I am the Black Cat Stitcher, and this is my first ever Flosstube. Before I get into the stitchy stuff, I want to tell you about myself and give you a little bit of some information about, how I got started cross-stitching. First, my name is Amy. I live in Wyoming. I work at the local museum in my town, and I have 2 black cats, hence the name Black Cat Stitcher, and I also have a leopard gecko named Tangerine, and hopefully I'll expand my reptile collection too. That's another thing that I'm really interested in besides cross-stitching. But yeah, if you guys want to see Tangerine, I might show her or him sometime in the future. But, some people aren't too into reptiles, so I might not ever do that. But yeah, now I guess talking about how I got started with cross-stitching. Well, I am one of those people who always has to be doing something with their hands. I'm a very fidgety person. My mom always told me that, I would never grow up, or I would become an adult when I'm 30 years old, which I'm pretty close to now, but I'm still not quite an adult, according to my mother, because I kept touching everything when I went shopping with her, and, always fidgeting with, things and breaking things, but, so I wanted to find a hobby that I could, have something to do with my hands, while I'm watching TV and relaxing at home, or listening to an audiobook. So I started my finding a craft journey with crochet. This is my puny crochet attempt. I learned some of the techniques from YouTube, and I just started practicing with this thing. But that ended up frustrating me more than it, relaxed me. So quickly I put crochet away and, continued on my journey to find something to do. And then, I stumbled across cross-stitch. Sorry about the whining. That's Hershey, one of my cats. He likes to talk. But yeah, I stumbled across some cross-stitch patterns on Etsy because I was looking for something to possibly make or buy on Etsy for my parents, specifically my mom, for Christmas. So that was November 2020 when I stumbled across those patterns, and those were these little bookmarks. I thought that these would be pretty quick and easy as a beginner project, and they're cute, and I could give one to my mom, and hopefully she'd like it, because like me, she likes to read, and sometimes we do mother-daughter read-alongs, and we FaceTime and have a book club discussion about things. So I found these on Stitch's Lover's Shop on Etsy, and I did this kitty cat bookmark for my mom, because like me, she has plenty of cats, and I also ended up having time to do this one, which I gave to my cousin for Christmas as well. So these 2 are 2 finishes that I have, but I don't have in my possession anymore. If my mom or cousin come to visit, I might be able to commandeer them and show them to you someday, but I don't have them on me anymore. And that is where the obsession began. So I went back to Etsy after I had finished those cross stitches back to the same shop, and I purchased another pattern for myself. And now I'm getting into, my finishes, things that I have finished, but I don't really have very many FFOs yet, or fully finished objects. But yeah, this is my second project. I have not ironed this yet, so it is kind of a little wrinkly, but it says "Cats Welcome humans tolerated. And that's pretty much how I feel most times, because I'm a homebody. I don't really, like to go out to restaurants or bars or anything to hang out with friends. I usually stay home or hang out with friends at my house or their houses. So yeah, I'm kind of antisocial. So I really liked that saying. But yeah, I hope to fully finish it someday. I'm not in any rush. I want to put it in a little oval frame and hang it on my door as a welcome or unwelcome sign, I guess. And see if I'll ever get to that. I'm kind of waiting on my aunt. Plus, I don't actually own an iron, so I don't know if I'll ever iron this. I'll have to find an iron. And then after that, again, I went back to Etsy and I bought 4 patterns from a shop that I will not name, because I found out after the fact one of the charts that I had considered buying and one of the charts that I did actually buy are not by them. They were reselling those on Etsy, and I believe that their shop did eventually get removed by Etsy for copyright violations. But yeah, I did finish this. This is the first one that I started for them. It's called Jellyfish. It's on 14 count white Aida, and I still haven't washed this one yet. So there's probably a stain up in the corner here. But yeah, this is the third, or my last, I guess, finished object second to last finished object that I had to show you. Yes, Hershey, hello. He says hi. And then I wanted to do one of those little bookmarks for myself because I too like to read. So I did the little Mulan dragon one down here for myself. Here's the finish. This one was really quick because by that time I had gained experience enough, and it didn't take me quite as long as the little cat one, the first one that I ever did, because I had to frog that cat so many times because I kept messing up for some reason. But this one was really nice and a really quick stitch. Oh yeah, this is on 14 count white Aida, and it's stitched 1/1, I believe. I still haven't quite gotten a handle on the terms yet, but I think that's correct. But, Oh, and the jellyfish, I stitched 2/1, I believe. I use the loop start method, so I take 2 strands and I fold it in half. So I don't know if that's 4/1 or 2/1. Let me know in the comments, because I'm sure the veteran stitchers will let me know. Also, if you actually know the real artist of this, if this is in fact copyright infringement, let me know, because I would like to give credit where credit is due. And if it's a pattern that you can buy with a PDF, I will definitely do that to give, the monetary credit to the real artist as well. And then after that, I was again trolling Etsy, and we're getting into the WIP territory. And I purchased on Etsy my first big cross stitch. This is Star Wars Cross Stitch by Nina Olson Embroidery on Etsy. And there is actually a full face for Chewie. I don't know why my printer cut off his face, but it did. So this is a little wrinkly, sorry, because I just took it out of the Q-snap. This is what I have, my WIP, work in progress. I've got Yoda and part of Darth Vader done. I have just a little bit more of Vader's chest to finish and fill in there, and then I'll get down to the drips and start finishing up the bottom there. And this is on 14 count again, white Aida. 2/1. Again, I don't know if it's really 2/1 or 4/1 or, yeah. I'll let you know once you guys tell me what's up. And that is where I quit being a monogamous stitcher. I was fully obsessed at this point, and I was becoming somewhat bored of just doing the big Star Wars cross stitch. So I went back to the things that I had purchased from the Etsy shop that we shall not name, and I started, this is called Night City. I believe this, I actually figured out, you know, who the real author of this is. It's, let me see, Make Your Own Hands kits. I think it's, they're sold in Russia, and it's by Andriana. If I am also incorrect about that, you can let me know. But I am doing this one, also 2/1 on black 14 count Aida, and this is what I've got done so far. I'm going to frog this back stitch and the pink back stitch here because I hate it, and I obviously did a really bad job because it's super loose, but I'm going to save that to the end because that's one of the things that I have discovered that I dislike doing immensely, but I can do it. And then, so it's a mix of full crosses and tent stitch. The smoke part, I will learn how to hold things, I promise. The smoke is tent stitch, and the buildings themselves are full cross stitches. So yeah, I don't know. I don't like that one as much as the others. So I quickly became frustrated with that one because of its black fabric. The fabric marker that I have, the blue one, doesn't show up very well on this, so I didn't grit it. And I think that's where my frustration lies. Also, I mean, it's black fabric, it's kind of hard to see the holes sometimes at night, and during the week at night is when I have the time to stitch. So that one's probably going to take me a while to get done, but I still am going to do it. It's not going to become a UFO yet because I really love the finished project, and yeah, I want to put that on my wall so bad. Yeah, and that was the third, or I guess that I have, and I have since gone out of control and started all of the things that I own. So yeah, I started using one of those decision wheel things and put all of my projects that I own and have the materials for on it. And yeah, after a while, after I became really frustrated with the Night City cross stitch, I just started everything. So on that list is this. This is my most recent start. It's called Night City. It's again from the Etsy shop that we shall not name. But again, if you actually know where this is from, and just let me know, and I will again give credit where credit is due. But yeah, I still have this one on the Q-snap because my start is pretty lousy. I started it literally last night, so I just have, sorry about the thread, yeah, just have a little bit. And this is done on 14 count white Aida, 2/1, I think. I will sort it out eventually and know my terms and all that eventually. But yeah, I really like this one as well, and although I don't have much stitched yet, it looks like it's going to be fun. And let's see. the paper for this. I have apparently lost it. But yeah, this is, whoops, I'm holding it the wrong way. This is another WIP. I'm doing this one extreme cross country. I had a printout of what it's supposed to look like, but yeah, I cannot find it. If I can find it before the next Flosstube, I will show it to you. But yeah, this is, I'm doing extreme cross country. I've fully finished this red bit, and I'm now doing the black color. It's going to be a shy cat covering his eyes. It's again from the unnameable Etsy shop. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to finishing this. I might not show you guys the full finish of, or the finished product of this, or you know, when it starts to look like something, because I want to give this to my mom as her next Christmas present, because again, we share the cat obsession. And I don't know, if she ever stumbles across this stuff, because, you know, I'm putting it on YouTube, I don't want her to see what her Christmas present is going to be like. I might film a little clip and put it up, you know, after Christmas to show you guys what it looks like, and what it'll end up looking like when it's fully finished, because, yeah. Oh, here it is. This is what it's going to look like in the end. It's done in anchor threads, and it's on 14 count. Hi Hirsch, please, mommy's filming stuff. Yeah, it's done on 14 count white Aida, 2/1 with anchor threads. And next I have two starts. I'm working on the Totoro looking bookmark and this Little Mermaid one, and I plan to start this one eventually when it comes up on the decision wheel, but I haven't yet started it. But yeah, these are my this is going to end up being the Totoro bookmark. This is what it looks like now. And this is what I have started on the mermaid one. I think they're mermaids. They also kind of look like little cupids, but I don't know. Tell me what you think they are based on the picture. And then last but not least, this is my last WIP. I lost the pattern for this. I have it uploaded on PDF. I scanned it into a PDF reader that I could read on my tablet, but the physical copy I have lost. My aunt gave me this for Christmas. It is a cat with bubbles, and I don't know the title or what this fabric is because it came in a kit that she bought on Amazon, and the instructions are in Chinese or Mandarin, I guess. So I don't know what this is really, but yeah, that's my small start on this, and I'm doing this 1/1 because I think that's what the instructions said, but yeah, I'm mostly doing that only because I don't want to run out of the thread that they provided, and I could probably match it to DNC colors if I wanted to, but I really, you know, since I'm new, I don't want to mess it up and have a two-toned background when it's supposed to be a solid color. So, all right, I think, oh, I do have a bit of embroidery that my aunt also gave me for Christmas. I did 2 little towels. I'm going to fully finish them like this. I know it's crooked and it's wrinkly, but I bought the stuff to fully finish it. But yeah, it's a little tea towel with a kitty. But yeah, I will reposition it, I promise. I'm aware that it is crooked. And then its partner is this little kitty with the glass of milk. Again, I will reposition it. The little border down here is missing, but that's how it's going to look fully finished when I'm done. And she also gave me some pillowcases. I have started with a little bit of a satin stitch here, but I haven't gotten very far with the pillowcase. And yeah, I think I'm going to try and select from my stash some of the colors, because I mean, it just is, you know, in variations of purples and pinks. I don't think I need to be exact about what colors I'm going to choose. I'll just choose similar colors rather than going to buy the ones that are instructed to purchase. All right, that is my WIPs, and now I will end the video with plans. I have bought a pattern, and I went to the store this morning to get all the floss, and my fabric is on its way. I got the shipping notification this morning, but I'm going to be doing Museum Shelf from Aida by Amy Stewart. Sorry about that. My cats are chasing each other. You probably hear that. But yeah, since I work at a museum, I had to do that one. So I bought all the stuff. I have yet to start it. And the next time it comes up on the decision wheel, I will be able to, you know, start it. And also, for plans, this is something that I want to do really badly. My aunt is an artist, and she does, you know, digital photography art, and this is, I'm sorry about the glare, but this is one of the pieces of hers that she gave me, and I really want to do this in a cross-stitch version, because if I chart it and I give her the chart, I mean, she does a lot of art shows, well, she did before COVID, but when she's able to do that again, I think having a crafty thing there might be good, because a lot of the shows that she goes to are a mix of, like, you know, art and, you know, crafts type things, like quilters and stuff go to these shows as well. So I think she might be able to sell some of this stuff if I were to chart it for her to sell. But yeah, let me know. Like, I know that I watched Peacock and Fig video of the, you know, digital program that she uses to chart, but I don't remember the name off the top of my head. This is a far in the future plan, but let me know what you guys use if you chart your own stuff occasionally. And I do have a Mac, if that matters. I have access to a Windows at work, but, you know, let me know what programs you guys use to chart your stuff, and so I can look into, you know, making this into a cross stitch for my aunt someday. Also, I mean, if you're interested in her stuff, I'll put my email into the description box below. And I mean, I don't know what she currently has, you know, in her rotation. She does framed stuff like this, and she also does stationery with her photos. So yeah, I can get in contact with her if you are interested in buying some of her stuff, because she doesn't have an Etsy shop or an online shop, but I'm sure she'd be willing to send it to you if you wanted it. So yeah, that is the end of Flosstube number 1, and I hope that, I don't know, I might do this every other week, or I don't know, we'll see if I have the courage to upload a second one even, honestly. But yeah, thank you for joining, and